You ever have one of those moments that feels ordinary until it explodes your entire life? Mine happened on a rainy Thursday morning. No warning, no drama, just a diaper bag, a note, and silence that changed everything. My name is Ryan, 34. Married, father, project manager, the guy who always refills the soap dispenser and remembers to buy oat milk. I don't consider myself the suspicious type. In fact, if you asked anyone who knew me, they'd probably say I was boring. Safe, predictable. And that's what Jenna always said she loved about me. We've been together for nearly a decade, married for 6 years. We had a daughter, Ella, who lit up every room she crawled into. Her giggles could disarm a prison guard. We weren't flashy. We weren't Instagram perfect. But I believed we were real. We fought about laundry, money, whose turn it was to handle bedtime. But we always circled back, always landed on, I love you, before sleep. So when that Thursday morning began like any other, coffee brewing, rain tapping the windows, Ella refusing to wear her jacket, I had no reason to expect it would be the day everything cracked wide open. Jenna was halfway down the hall, applying mascara with one hand and zipping her purse with the other. Ryan, can you check the diaper bag? She called over the hum of morning chaos. Make sure there's wipes and her extra outfit? I said sure, absent-mindedly, like always. My brain was half on a client call I had in an hour and half on making sure Ella didn't dump her cereal on the dog. I reached into the bag, dug past diapers, a chewed-up giraffe toy, a packet of crushed crackers. Then my fingers touched something smooth. Paper, not crumpled like a receipt, deliberately placed. It was an envelope, plain white, unmarked, tucked between a pacifier and a pack of tissues. Something about it felt wrong. It didn't belong there, not with the bottles and wipes and Ella's things. I opened it. Inside were 3 things. A grainy black and white sonogram photo. An appointment confirmation from a women's clinic, dated just a few weeks ago. And a yellow sticky note. Only 5 words, but enough to turn my blood cold. Don't worry, he doesn't know. That's all it said. No name, no signature, just that. The air left the room. I swear I couldn't hear anything for a moment, not the rain, not the cartoons still playing in the living room, not even Ella. Just the words echoing in my skull. He doesn't know. I stared at that sentence like it might rewrite itself if I blinked enough times. It didn't. Jenna walked in a minute later, keys in hand, lipstick fresh, smile loaded and ready like nothing was wrong. She froze when she saw the envelope in my hand. It was quick, less than a second, but I saw it. That flicker of fear, of calculation. Then she smiled. Oh, that's just something from a friend. She asked me to hold it for her. I was supposed to throw it out. Casual, breezy, practiced. I didn't say a word. I just handed her the bag, watched her kiss Ella's head, and walk out the door, with our daughter in her arms. And the lie still stuck to the inside of my skull like glue. The rain didn't stop that day. Neither did the voice in my head. She's lying. You know it. She never meant for you to see that envelope. But I had. And now I couldn't unsee it. That night, I sat in the dark while Ella slept. The envelope on the table in front of me, like a ticking bomb I was too afraid to touch again. I wasn't just dealing with a secret. I was staring at the possibility that my wife was pregnant. And I wasn't the father. That night, I didn't sleep. Not really. I lay awake listening to the sounds of the house, the ticking clock, the rain still sliding down the gutters, and the steady, peaceful breathing of my daughter in the next room. Ella was innocent. Completely untouched by what was happening. But I couldn't say the same for Jenna. That sticky note wouldn't leave my head. Don't worry, he doesn't know. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw it. And the sonogram, it wasn't old. The date on the appointment slip was from 2.5 weeks ago. Which meant, unless this was some elaborate joke, she was pregnant. Right now. The next morning, I played it cool. Poured Jenna coffee. Kissed Ella's forehead. Went through the motions like any other day. But inside, I was unraveling. I started watching Jenna closer. She didn't mention the envelope again. Didn't act nervous. Didn't apologize. In fact, she seemed relieved. Like she thought I'd let it go. That told me everything. Because if there was any reasonable explanation, she would have told me. Instead, she pretended it never happened. And that was her second mistake. I booked a DNA test. Not for the unborn child, not yet. For Ella. I hated myself for even thinking it. But I needed to know. I had to know. It was a home kit. Simple. Swab, seal, send. While Jenna was out one afternoon, I gently swabbed the inside of Ella's cheek while she watched cartoons, unaware of the storm tearing through her father's mind. I dropped the envelope off at the mailbox with shaking hands. The wait was excruciating. 3 days. I barely ate. I barely functioned at work. Every time Jenna walked into the room, I saw a stranger wearing my wife's skin. She smiled. She laughed. She held our daughter like nothing was wrong. But the truth was coming. And when it did, it hit harder than I ever imagined. Day 4. The results arrived. I opened the email on my phone, hands sweating, heart pounding in my ears. And there it was, in cold, clinical text. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. I read it again, and again, but the number never changed. I dropped the phone. Everything around me dimmed. I couldn't hear, couldn't move. Just one sentence running through my mind like a broken alarm. She's not mine. The little girl I'd held. Federal rocked to sleep. Taught to say, Daddy. Not mine. The door creaked open. Jenna walked in, holding a bag of groceries. She looked at me, at my face, and froze. What's wrong? I looked at her. Really looked. And for the first time in my life, I saw her not as my wife, but as a woman capable of building a lie so deep. I almost drowned in it. We need to talk, I said, voice barely above a whisper. We need to talk. That's all I said. But Jenna heard everything in those 4 words. Because her smile vanished instantly. She set the grocery bag down slowly, like she was handling explosives, and leaned on the counter, not quite meeting my eyes. Okay, what's going on? I held up my phone, the test results still glowing on the screen. You want to explain this? Her eyes flicked to the text. 1 second. That's all it took. Then her face changed, not to panic, not guilt. But exhaustion. Like she'd been waiting for this moment to come for a long time. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said softly. Which part? The cheating? The lying? Or letting me believe I was Ella's father for 3 years? She flinched at that. It was one time. I was lonely. You were working late all the time and... Don't turn this on me. I never wanted it to go this far, she whispered. I laughed. Bitter. Quiet. You mean, you didn't want to get caught? She didn't deny it. I asked who the father was. She gave me a name I didn't recognize, a coworker. Said it meant nothing. But clearly, it meant enough for her to start a second life behind my back. And the new baby? I asked. Is it his too? She nodded once. Silent. That was it. The final nail. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her, this woman I had once trusted with everything, and felt nothing. Not hatred. Not love. Just emptiness. Pack a bag, I said. You're leaving. Tonight. Her face twisted. You're kicking me out of our house? No. My house. Your name isn't on the deed. And you're not the woman I married. She started crying then. Big, messy, theatrical sobs. But I'd seen this act before. And this time, I wasn't buying a ticket. She begged, pleaded, said Ella needed her mother. I told her Ella would always have a mother, but that didn't mean I'd tolerate lies under my roof. She threatened to leave and take Ella with her. That's when I showed her the test results again. You take one step toward my daughter, I said, voice cold and flat, and I will bury you in court with every lawyer I can find. You want to play mother? Then stop acting like a criminal. She left that night. Not with dignity. Not with grace. She slammed the door, still screaming about how I was destroying our family. But I didn't destroy anything. I just uncovered what was already broken. The next morning, Ella asked where Mommy was. I looked into those sweet, confused eyes and lied for the first and only time in my life. She's on a trip, just for a little while. And then I hugged her tight, because even if she wasn't mine by blood, she was still mine in every way that mattered. 3 weeks passed. The silence in the house started to feel normal. No more arguments. No more second-guessing. Just me, Ella, and a new rhythm we were learning together. I read her bedtime stories every night. Taught her how to tie her shoes badly. Learned how to braid her hair with YouTube tutorials and a lot of frustration. I didn't feel like I was babysitting. I felt like I was being a father. And then she came back. Not with flowers. Not with an apology. But with an envelope and a lawyer's letter inside. She wanted custody. I stared at her on the front porch like I was seeing a stranger knock on my door with a loaded weapon. Are you serious? I asked. She's my daughter, Jenna said, calm and cold. Biologically or not, I've raised her. I laughed. You mean you used her as cover while sneaking off with other men? Her lawyer's letter requested shared custody. Every other weekend. Holidays. Visitation rights. Like none of what she did mattered. Like trust was some optional feature you could just re-download after deleting it. I didn't wait. My lawyer filed a response the next day, full custody petition, citing paternity fraud, emotional trauma, and stability of the child's environment. I was done playing defense. Court day came. Jenna showed up in a pale blouse and fake humility. Told the judge she regretted everything, that she just wanted to be a part of her daughter's life. I sat there in silence until it was my turn, and I told the truth. How I found the envelope. How she lied. How I raised Ella alone in every way that counted. Then I looked the judge in the eye and said, I may not be her biological father, but I'm the only one who's shown up. Every single day, and I'm not stopping now. 2 weeks later, the decision came. Full custody. She could visit, supervised, twice a month. That was it. She tried messaging me afterward. I just want to talk. I miss her. Can we meet? Just the three of us? I blocked the number. Because this wasn't about revenge. It was about protecting peace. Today, Ella's 5. She still loves dinosaurs. Still hates peace. She knows something changed, but she's happy, safe, thriving. And as for me, I don't feel broken anymore. I feel rebuilt. Not because I won, but because I refuse to let someone else's lies define my story. People say blood is thicker than water. But love is thicker than lies. And being a parent is about who stays, not who starts.